Hey everybody, welcome back to Ride It Wrench It. Today we're going to do a video on putting 12-inch handlebars on a 2022 Street Glide Special. This is the stock handlebars that came on the 2022 Street Glide Special, and then we'll get some video of it after with the 12-inch Paul Yaffes. This will give you a good idea of the height of the bars. All right guys, so we're getting ready to do the handlebars. First things is I got a tank cover this time. These are really nice, man. Ended up picking this up from Utah Harley Davidson for like 36 bucks. Really, you just can't beat that. I mean, I couldn't make it for that. So that was well worth it. I wanted to be sure to tie the motorcycle down to give it some stability. It's not off the ground. I don't need it off the ground. I just want it upright so that I have the ability to move the handlebars as I work on, or move the front forks and the fairing as I'm working on this whole thing. So other than that, let's get started. All right, to get started with, we're going to take off the outer fairing. So we got 7 bolts. We got 2 on this side, 1, 2, 2 on the other side, and 3 across here. Okay, now we got to take these 3 bolts off. And all these bolts are T27s. The middle one's longer too, by the way. So you can leave the headlight on, just a little tab. Pull it off, and there's your outer fairing off. All right, next we got to take the blinkers off, 1/2 inch, 2 bolts. All right, pull that off, push the tabs in. There we go. Okay, next we're going to take the ignition cover off. It's a 5/32 Allen wrench, 1 on each side. Okay, so we took 2 5/32 bolts out. We're not going to remove it completely. Just going to pull it back. What it's going to do, it's going to allow us to get to the handlebar clamp bolts. Okay, next we're going to take the clutch handle off. It's a T25. That's why I like this tank thing, because if I were to drop that, it's not going to hurt my tank. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just going to go ahead and put the bolts back in temporarily. And then since it's not going anywhere, I'm just going to put a tube sock over it. There we go. Okay, now we're going to remove the front brake master cylinder. Same thing, T25. And another tube sock. Okay, we're going to take off the handlebar control wires. It's these 3 right here. There's a little tab at top. Push it and just pull them out. There you go. Okay, next we're going to take the we're going to loosen the fairing itself, and we're going to take the lower fairing cover off as well. 9/16. And then do that to the other side. Okay, straddle your fender here, because we're ready to pull the fairing, not off. We're not going to disconnect everything. I don't have to take the fairing off to do the handlebars. Just lift it up and pull it forward. We got to get all these zip ties off. That allows us to get the control wires out. There's one of them. There you go. Okay, we're going to get our twist grip sensor off. So first, I'm just going to get it off of the support. So I just pulled this out. It just holds the twist grip sensor in. You don't have to take it off. I did it for purposes of video. There's a tab here. Push the tab, pull it out. There's your twist grip sensor loose. Okay, now the twist grip sensor is loose. Just pull it out. Now, it's real long. It's good. You don't have to extend the twist grip sensor. Okay, now we're going to take the controls off. So we got T25. And come down lower. It allows us to pull the cover off. Okay, then pull the back part off. Get you a pick. And there's your right control. And your grip comes right off. Lift up, pop it off, pull it back off. There you go. Okay, now we're going to pull the twist grip sensor out. So you want to be careful pulling this out because you don't want it to snag and rip the wires out of the twist grip sensor. So make sure this is kind of straight over here. You might even push it in a little bit to give some slack. And then just slowly kind of work it out. There you go. Well, came out real easy actually. Now you're going to want to push and pull simultaneously to get this out. When you can get to the wire part, the jacket, then you can grab the jacket and it'll go much easier. There you go. Twist grip sensor's out. All right, so we got the handlebars ready. Now we got to take the old handlebars off. So it's these 4 bolts right here. I got Margaret holding the handlebars, 1/4 inch Allen wrench. I say, get somebody to hold the bars. Okay, we're going to lift them out and take them to the front. We got to get the brake line loose now, and there's a zip tie right here. So that's where you're going to get your slack for the new bars. Because instead of coming here and over, now you can route it straight up, and that gives you about 4 inches of extra play. And then there's one over here on the clutch cable as well. I've already cut it off though, but the clutch cable is going to be extended. Hold it just like that. And you've probably seen other videos and they say it's a push-pull thing. Yeah, it is a push-pull deal. There it goes. You can see now it just pulls right through. I got to brace it here with my stomach. Okay, lift up. Go. Now you don't want to pull it, the twist grip sensor in with the cable. You want to push the twist grip sensor in because you don't want to pull those cables out. There you go. That's it. There it is. Heard it snap. It's on. Okay, so if you got grips, this is the time to do grips. Go ahead and stick them on there. And then you can put your other housing on, your back side of it. These are extensions that we got. Basically, they're just plug and play. Here it went. just getting around that first corner. It just helps push it in until it kind of stops, and then you can get a little tug here. So if you push it in until it stops, so you can get a little tug. Push it in, a little tug. There you go, guys. You see you still got this part open here. We still got to install our clutch on this side and our master cylinder here, and that will cover up this. Now these are loose a little bit. I mean, I didn't tighten them very, very tight because we're going to want to move them in and out a little bit, and adjust them, you know, once we get it on the bike and we sit down and see what, you know, how it's going to be comfortable for us. But other than that, we're ready to go with them. All right, next put the bars on. Margaret's going to hold them up there while I get it secured. You got it? Yep. Not going to do a close-up of this, guys, because you saw us take it off. At this point, I'm going to set the seat back on and kind of hopefully adjust them to where I want them. Best thing is just sit on the bike, kind of feel it out. I like my arms a little bit bent. Some people like them straight. It's just really up to you. This is kind of a feel thing, and you may end up having to adjust them more later. What's nice about the 12s, when you get up to 12 size, you got a lot of pullback here to, you know, really get it adjusted. Some, you know, stock ones, you're all the way down here, you can't do much. That's where you're gonna want your service manual, because you need torque specs for this stuff. So service manual, read through this about adjusting the handlebars, just a little section on it in the service manual, 16 to 20 foot-pounds. So that's what we're gonna want to torque those down to. All right, now we're going to put the front brake on. Okay. When you get the higher handlebars, if it gets up too high, you'll end up having to reach down for your brake and your clutch. So that's why you leave it loose, and you can turn it how you need it to wherever it's comfortable for yourself. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then you can tighten it down once you get it where you want it. And then make sure you push all this as far as it'll go towards the inside of the handlebars. Good. Now we got to extend the clutch line. I went with the fat bagger clutch extension. It's 4 inches, and so from what I've seen, it's probably a good idea to do it. Otherwise, that clutch line, even on 12, is going to be stretching a little bit tight, and I don't want that. So first thing to do is this little bracket here that holds it on, plastic. Take that off, and we're going to just slide this up, just like that. Also got another bracket here at the bottom. There we go. Take it off too. That way we have access to the clutch line. Okay, once you remove the cover, rotate the yellow piece so that you can see the ball on the lower part of that cable. You're gonna pop that red clip. You're gonna collapse it and then push it back in. Now you're gonna come in here and there's a little tab. You're going to bend that tab up. Then you're going to push from the back. And you're going to pull the top up at the same time. And there you go. Now your cable's separated. Okay, now we're going to take the yellow piece off. A couple tabs. There we go. All right. This will not be reused. Now we're going to take the extension piece off. This is the new tube, and it's going to go over the bottom right there, like that, Okay. All right, then we're going to take our adjustment, or well, it's our extension. We're going to slide it over the ball. And then we're going to turn this till it touches the ball. And this is our lock nut, and we're going to tighten that with a couple wrenches. Okay, now we're going to take our new extension tube, slide it over that. Then we're going to take our clutch cable, and here's where we're going to push it up. Because we got to be able to get it into the new tube. And we slide it into the new tube. Okay, I had to put the clutch handle on because I had to push the cable so it will go into the hole and snap into place. And that's what you're looking for it to do. Okay, so once you get it in there, you have to readjust your clutch. The way you do that is you pop this red tab back. You either push down or pull up to the tension that you want, and then you push it back in. That's all you do for clutch adjustment. Then you can take this tube that you had originally and slide it back down over, and there you go. You got it back on. And don't forget to put your clips back on it that hold it in place. There you go. Okay, so now you can see I got a whole bunch of clutch cable. So what I can do now is I can route it the way it's supposed to be again, back to like the original way it was in the handlebars. It was under that little ground wire. You can see a little ground wire there. And then I can go ahead and put a zip tie back around here, and my clutch cable is now in the position it's supposed to be in. And put your trip meter back on. There you go. We're going to have to turn this line because we want it to come down the bars. It'll also help give us some slack, because if we put the fairing up, it's probably going to bump into that. So I showed this on the 2012 and 2015. You're just going to loosen your banjo nut very slightly, just enough to be able to put it into place, and then tighten it back up. That way you don't introduce air into the line. And that's all there is to it. Now we're going to get the fairing back on. I had to put a zip tie on the brake, or on the brake cable down close to the handlebars to get it in the position that I wanted to hold it. And then we got to come to the front and plug the control wires back in. And literally we just plug them into the snap. There we go. And then this is the twist grip sensor. And you can just push this back into the little holder that it's in back here. I can't get the camera in to show you. Before you get too far after that, check your range of motion. You can feel it, make sure there's no binding in your new cables, which there isn't. Okay, before you put the rest of it together, you can go ahead and check your electronics now. You won't get the front blinkers or the front headlight, but the rest of it will work. Horn works. Ooh, that was loud. Blinker, right blinker, left blinker, right blinker. Looking back to see it. Flashers. Yep. This is your ignition. Yep, I heard it. Traction control. My little storm cloud comes up, so it's on and off. Bright lights. I got the light, I don't have bright light, but it's getting power through there. Before you put both of the fairing bolts on the bottom, the lower one, you got to put your lower fairing. You got some tabs here, and there's some holes for them, and then you can put your lower fairing bolts in. Next we got to put the ignition cover back on. Just the 2 bolts on, one on each side. So we've got the fairing mounted. We've got the lower fairing on. We've got the ignition cover on. Now we're going to put the blinkers on. Just be careful putting them on that you don't pinch the wires. We're going to plug the headlight back in. And put the fairing up. Get the bolt out of my pocket. There we go, that'll hold it up. Okay, get the windshield on. There it goes. And we're going to put the lower outer fairing cover bolts on. And we're going to move up and put, like, I guess the medium height ones on. Now check your seam along here and make sure that it's sealed. And then do the other side the same way. All right, now we're going to do a walk around with the new 12-inch Paul Yaffe handlebars on. That was a process of putting handlebars on a 2022 Street Glide Special. We went with the 12-inch Paul Yaffes, and we also broke out a video by itself of just how to prep and wire the handlebars. So I hope that makes it easier, because that seems to be a problem for most people, is getting those wires through. So as always, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, and be sure to visit the website at rideitwrenchit.com.